Hey, what's going on, guys? So, I have not been talking about this very much, but I'm actually super duper excited. I'm probably going to do a full proper video on it on, next week, maybe. I really, it's going to depend on shipping. But I want to talk about the Lunar remasters. If you don't know, Lunar is an awesome game. It started on the Sega CD. And then they did a version of 1 and 2 on the PS1. If you've been watching my channel for it has to be a long time ago now. I think when I hit like 100 subscribers or something crazy like that, I did a video of like my collection of working design stuff, and I love working designs as a company. I've talked about it multiple times. But they were the ones who brought over the Lunar games back in the day, and they did all sorts of cool stuff with their collector's boxes and all the things. But even all that aside, the games themselves are phenomenal. So I want to talk a little bit about the games, the remasters, because they are coming out this Friday, the 18th. If you're watching this video on the day that I dropped it, it's coming out on the 18th of April, 2025. But I want to tell you everything we know so far. There's kind of like a Q&A, like a fact sheet thing that the company Gung Ho put out. So I'm personally really excited for this. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of these games. I have like every version you can think of. I have the Sega CD version. I have the PlayStation, obviously, versions with the cool boxes. I have the Puppet. I have the original Working Designs guidebooks. I have like the PSP thing they did. I have the Game Gear, the Japanese Game Gear Lunar game. I have all of them. And so, like I said, super pumped for this. So without further ado, let's kind of talk about the ins and outs that's going to be going on with these games and just some of the neat stuff. And just kind of check out these games because they're coming out this Friday. So as I said, the games come out on Friday, this Friday, the 18th, and they are currently not available for pre-order, and I'll get to that later. They have a fact sheet that I want to run through, and I want to run through it using that rather than just tell you what I have off the top of my head, because I don't want to miss anything. But I do want to talk about some of the features that they've shown, and talk just a little bit about the stuff in general. But I'm really, really pumped. So without further ado, let's kind of talk about everything that they have said so far with this game, and when you can get it, where you can get it, and what you're gonna get. So first off, let's go ahead and talk about when you can get it, and obviously that is this Friday, the 18th. It will be available in physical form, and they have it for the PS4, which is backwards compatible with the PS5, or forwards compatible, whatever you want to say it. It's going to be on the Xbox Series consoles and on the Switch. You can get physical copies of all three. And in the US, it's going to be exclusively through Amazon. Also, just so you know, it's going to be $54.99 for the collection, which comes with both games. And so that's going to be kind of a cool thing. So here's kind of the frequently asked questions that they have according to their website. The first one is, when will it be released? Like I've already said, April 18th, this Friday. Will it be available physically and digitally? Yes, it's going to be both. I just kind of said that as well. But I will say that on the digital version, it's actually $49.99. So $5 cheaper, which is kind of cool. Like, you know me, I'm not really for digital games, but I have always said, like, since the beginning of digital games, that if you're going to be a digital game, then you should be cheaper than a physical game. It doesn't make any sense. And they've actually done that here. This is just me following the frequently asked questions, even though I just said this. Will there be pre-orders in North America? They won't be doing it for this release, but note, it's not a limited release. There will be plenty of copies available for everyone interested. That's straight from the website. The next question is talking about the price, and like I already said, $54.99. Then they again kind of bring this up again. Will there be a limited physical release? No, we will continue to produce physical copies as long as there's demand for them. Rest assured, there'll be plenty of copies available for everyone interested. So that's great. Now the next question, kind of a little bit of a bummer, I will say, but it says, will there be a collector's edition? And it says, currently we do not have plans to release a collector's edition. That to me kind of stinks, only because Working Designs, which I know this is not Working Designs, this is a company called Gung Ho America, which, first off, I don't really know much about Gung Ho America, But I just want to say thank you to Gung Ho America because, you know, obviously they're doing this and, you know, I don't care who's doing it. Whoever's doing it is my hero. But anyway, currently they do not have plans for collector's edition. Like I said, kind of stinks a little bit only because Working Designs, you know, they had those crazy boxes that had like little standees, or depending on the game, they all had different stuff. I think Lunar 2 actually had a freaking like pendant amulet in it. I did a full unboxing of all the Working Designs games on this channel. Super old video, not many views, but if you type in, you know, Working Designs something or other on my channel, I'm sure it'll pop up. Anyway, here's another very important thing. Is this a remaster of the Sega CD versions or the PlayStation versions? And they do strictly say this remaster includes the PlayStation versions of the games Lunar, Silver Star Story Complete, and Lunar 2 Eternal Blue Complete. So you get the PlayStation versions, which, you know, I have both. I've played both. The PlayStation versions are cleaner and a little bit better, so that makes sense. Now, I don't know what exactly this is in relation to, but the next question is, can we turn off the blur effect at the top and bottom of the screen? And the answer apparently is yes. There's a setting to turn it off along with classic mode where you can play the game with the original graphics. And then the last question is, what are the difficulty options? And it says there are none offered. So that's going to be a little interesting too, because, you know, notoriously these games have very strange difficulties depending on which version you're playing. So you're going to be getting the original PlayStation, the PlayStation version's difficulty, it seems like. But all that said, those are the frequently asked questions. I want to talk about this, and this is all straight from the website. This is the key features. So they have remastered visuals, which you can turn off and on back to have the original visuals, just like I just said from the frequently asked questions. Another key feature it says is turn-based action, but if you know anything about this game, that makes sense. The next bullet point is just what I said: toggle between classic and remastered modes, widescreen support, updated graphics on all cutscenes, probably upscaling, I would imagine, because they are animated. Language support in English, Japanese, French, and German. And I want to touch upon this later because it's actually a later bullet point. It's been a point of contention for some people, but we'll get to that in a second. Improved strategy settings, battle speed toggle. Now, they actually did a little video on this. The battle speed toggle is really kind of neat because, you know, a lot of these older RPGs, like, you have to wait your turn, and this one has multiple speed options, so you can have like slow, a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster. So that's really nice. And then now this one is gonna be kind of a bummer for some people, and that is all new English voiceover. I don't know why they had to do that, and I'm sure if I did a little digging, I could probably figure it out. I just know that in some of the groups I'm in, a lot of people seem to be pretty upset about this because I think like the actual original voice actors have been talking about this as well. I'm trying to like compartmentalize that. I mean, it's going to be weird having it different from what I'm used to. But I just like, I've been wanting these games remade so like much that I just, you know, I wouldn't even mind if there was no voice acting, even though it'd be kind of like disingenuous to the original. Like, I don't care. I'd read it at this point. It's just, these are great games that people have not been able to play, and I'm glad they're going to be preserved in a way that brings them to modern consoles where people can play them. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of like my ins and outs, my quick thoughts. So that's everything from their website, though. When the game launches on Friday, I'm going to, you know, of course, buy the physical copy, and I don't know how quickly they'll be available to launch. I don't know if it's like they're in the Amazon warehouse now and I get it next day shipping or what, but if that is the case, or as long as I get it before next Tuesday, since my videos always come out on Tuesday, I will open it up, see if or what it comes with, if anything. I'll pop the game in, we'll play it a little bit together. So I'm really excited. I'm really pumped up. You know, these are really cool games that, you know, I'm glad are getting the ability to come back to life. And yeah, it's going to be cool, and I can't wait, and I hope if you didn't know about it, now you do. But hey, that's going to do it for us today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, please do. It'd be awesome. Like I said, I plan on checking this game out physically. So when I get it, I will be making a video. Whether or not that's the next video or not remains to be seen. But once again, my friends, as always, can't wait to see what you guys have to say in the comments down below. And you know, let me know if you're looking forward to this game or if you even knew about it. And hey, that's going to do it for us today, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, please do. It'd be awesome. But as always, my friends, take it easy.